Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where it is finally time to take a look at the sweet knife I was alluding to in my earlier video that I just uploaded. Kind of the appetizer to the main course, so to say. And don't worry, this is not a Civivi. This is nothing from the WE family. But let me tell you guys something. What this is one incredible prototype of a knife that a lot of people are going to want. And unfortunately, probably not everyone will get the first drop because I think these are going to sell out lightning fast. But this is the third and final prototype of a knife that's coming very soon. And from what I was told, I'm the first person to make a video for the third prototype. So what you're seeing here is going to be as close as it gets to the production model, minus one little change that I will specify and hit on in this review. But what we are talking about in this pouch right here is seriously, if this is any indication of what is to come to us in the months ahead, oh my gosh, this here is none other than the Aurora Knife and Tool Truffles. Now, before I go any further into this review, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, let's take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here. We have an overall length coming in at 8.1 inches, a blade length of 3.4 inches, and a blade thickness at 125 thousandths. Blade material on this guy is S35VN. It's marked, so, oh yeah, that's right. It is marked right there. S35VN. Still love to see it. It's still, honestly, one of my favorite steels. It's just a phenomenal EDC steel. We have a Tanto blade with a beautiful, very well done compound grind. A handle length coming in at 4.7 inches and a handle thickness at 457 thousandths. Handle material on this guy is titanium, as you probably all could have guessed. Locking mechanism. This is where things get weird and new in the best possible way. This big old button right here is the roundhouse lock, and we'll talk a lot more about that when we get to that portion of the review. User of a right or left hand, look at that right there, that nice filler tab, right or left hand, tip up carry, a weight coming in at 4.2 ounces, designed by Michael Reed, who we're going to talk more about here in just a second, and manufacturer here. So this is a new one for me. I don't think I've ever handled a knife from this manufacturer until now, and not disappointed, very impressed. Manufactured by Sikio. Now, Sikio is a Chinese company. They've been making knives for over 30 years, and the price on this guy is really good for what you're getting. The titanium handles, S35, a new lock, and I must say, pretty impeccable fit and finish. 189 bucks. Yeah, let that sink in. 189 bucks. Now, if you like what you're seeing so far and you're like, oh God, I gotta get one, so there's still a chance. There are still some spots available for late backers on this project. The project is fully funded. It's 100% happening. And there's a really cool format to this. So if you want to look into more of this and see if you can still reserve yourself one, you can go to www.meettruffles.com. That will be linked, of course, in this video. And FYI, guys, I'm not getting paid anything to do this. There's no affiliate links. This is just me. And, you know, a lot of my videos now, they are affiliated because I'm a bigger channel, or at least somewhat of a bigger channel. I'm still a minnow compared to some of the other channels out there. But nonetheless, I'm not always trying to make money. Like, the goal of this channel is to bring you guys the best knives, informative reviews, my thoughts, all the good things, new products, innovative locks. That's what this channel is about first and foremost. So it's not about commission all the time. It's not about making money. It's about being part of the community and bringing you guys cool content. And I definitely think that's what this is. But yeah. Nothing for me to gain here other than telling you guys about one awesome knife. So anyway, go to that link below. And the way this is set up, so you're technically not pre-ordering it right away. You're basically reserving yourself a spot to pre-order one. And then you don't have to pay for the knife until 1 month 1 month in advance, as opposed to other pre-orders that can take, you'll pay in like January and you'll get the knife in September. You pay for the knife 1 month ahead, and within 1 month, right around 1 month, you should have the knife. So yeah, not too bad there. And there's also some anodization options here on this guy. So if you don't like the raw tie, there's several different colors to choose from, and that'll all be for the information will be in the website for that. Now, Aurora Knife and Tool, let's talk about them real quick. Aurora Knife and Tool is the Reed family. Michael Reed, his wife Melody, and their kids. Michael also may be known by some of you as Misheard Knife Reviews on YouTube and Instagram. He's a lifetime knife nut and started Aurora Knife and Tool in 2021. So there you go. There's the details, the quick little backdrop on Aurora Knife and Tool. And now let's get to talking about the Truffles, which is a freaking amazing name, by the way. I did get the story on the name. The name Truffles is named after the pig Truffles in a certain movie. I don't remember all the details, but nonetheless, the Truffles, that's just kind of a cool name. So, okay, let's take a look at some size comparisons here and see just what we got. I've got some really good knives to compare it with. A couple Kaisers. First off, we have the Kaiser Escort, and then we also have one of my favorite knives from all of 2023, the Kaiser, wow, Kaiser Milita. It's amazing how knife names escape me now. There's just, I just flat out handle too many. Blessing and a curse. But yeah, Milita, Escort, I think that'll do a lot for a lot of people. Very, very similar, slightly longer than both of them, but very much in the ballpark. And two more just to satisfy anyone else who may not be a big Kaiser fan, even though you probably should be. This is the Civivi Conspirator, as well as the Vosteed Thunderbird. So there, that will definitely do it for y'all. If that doesn't do it, I don't know what will. So there you go. Now let's take a look at the rest of the Truffles, because this knife right here, there's literally nothing I don't like about this knife. As a matter of fact, the only thing that I don't love about this knife is the one change being made on the flipper tab back here. There's nice jimping. It's not bad, but it's too spaced out. It's too big of jimping, too coarse. What they're gonna do is take the jimping you see right here and put that jimping back there. So yeah, then that's gonna fix that. So with that said, I have no complaints on this knife. Like, I love this freaking knife. Everything about it. The handle, especially the lock, especially the blade. It really does remind me of like a Kaiser Begleiter. Like, you guys remember probably like 3 or 4 years ago now, the Kaiser Begleiter titanium Tanto version. It really does remind me of that. I think it feels a little better in hand because it's a little wider. And the blade, it's a little less steak knifey and a little more just Tanto big cool knifey, I guess, if that made any sense. Let's get back to this blade. The blade is fantastic. A very nice compound grind. We have 15 thousandths behind the edge on the hollow grind, which is this whole flat here, and then up around the tip is a flat grind, and we're still looking at 20 thousandths there. So a very versatile, very strong tip that's still very sharp, and a very slicey long straight there at 15 thousandths. Very, very impressive job from Sikio. Yeah, I cannot believe I've never heard of them. I feel like they would have done more in like the EDC game at this point, but maybe they haven't. I just didn't know it was a knife made by them. That's very possible. But yeah, this blade is just fantastic. Everything about this blade is really, I would probably say, knocked out of the park once they make the changes on that jimping there, because every deployment option here is designed, in my opinion, just about perfectly. And what I mean, like, so when I say, what I just said, the deployment options were designed perfectly. What does that mean? It means they, first and foremost, work great. So the flipper tab works great. The front flipper tab works great. The regular flipper tab works great. Even this blade cutout here works very, very, very pleasingly great. But they also look good. You know, they're not eyesores, because you can make any deployment option work perfect, but it may not look good on the knife. It may look out of place. It may look weird. To me, everything about this design just works. The closed position, all of the angles, nothing sticking out too far. It just looks right in place. And man, oh man, that detent is perfect. But yeah, everything on this blade is uber impressive. And then the handle, that's where the magic is inside this handle with the roundhouse lock. So now the way this works, without getting too technical, this is basically an inset liner lock of what you're seeing right here. But what happens is when you push this button here, you push the button in, and there's an extra little piece of metal on the inside of this liner that pulls the liner lock back. So I'll push the button, and you'll see it here. Watch it happen. See? It disappears. So you push it on the button, and the liner lock basically gets pulled out to the scale, just like that. So it's a very secure lock. I have had absolutely no issue with this thing. It has been nothing but fidget bliss, nice slicey blade, and yeah, really, really good in terms of anything relating to this lock. It easily passes the spine whack test. No issue there whatsoever. Nice and solid lockup. It's a great lock, and I can guarantee you this year you're going to see more versions of this lock. The question is it going to be as good of a design as this? Because I will say, Michael, I really think he knocked this out of the park in terms of a design. I like how everything looks on it. The handle feels good. It's somewhat neutral, but it's got just enough of that little slight, curve down here at the handle to where it doesn't just feel like a rectangle in your hand. Feels really nice. The clip back here is also pretty simple, but it works great. It also works really good for the front flipper, not just because of what I always say with front flippers, but it's also angled just right. It's like the perfect angle to get a really good grip and just pop that blade out. It's so stinking nice. Again, just a lot of thought put into this. You can tell this is the third prototype. I can only imagine the changes that were made on the first two prototypes. But boy, oh boy, this was worth it. It was worth the time. It was worth the extra money to go into the other additional prototypes. And everything here has come out really, really well. And another thing that I was really surprised about was just how much I like this big round pivot here. It just works though. I mean, it looks, to me, this is very pleasing. It's not something I see on every knife, but boy, oh boy, it just looks good. So yeah, really well done job on this roundhouse lock. And I really love how that works. That's very, very cool, very innovative, and very, very fidgety. This middle finger flick, it looks like you got to, and you do, I mean, you have to push your finger in there, but as you can see, guys, I've got like very little middle fingernail there right now, and it's very easy to pop it out. Once you get used to it, it's like riding a bike. Once you figure it out, it's a breeze, and it's so satisfying. This detent is just nailed. We can talk about the action. I feel like I've already kind of been talking about the action. But yeah, just the detent. It all comes down, with most knives, it comes down to the detent. And this, I mean, just listen to it. It's crisp, man. It is crisp with a Z and two P's. Very, very crisp, very enjoyable. And it's only going to get a little better when they change that jimping back there to this. It's going to be perfect. I really think it's going to be perfect. I can tell you guys right now, I guarantee you I'm going to buy one. It's happening. There's no way I cannot buy one of these. And bonus points, there's no lanyard hole. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Aura Knife and Tool. Thank you, Melody and Kids, for no lanyard hole. I didn't need it. I don't want it. And it looks freaking great without one. It's so nice to see no lanyard hole on a knife. So bonus points there. And all the points for fantastic, fidgety, good action. The one thing that is a little tough on this, the reach around, let's see, is it doable? Boy, this may not be reach around approved, but you know what? It's still very easy to front flip that blade out. So sometimes I can't explain why it may not be reach around approved. Who knows? But it's still so good. To be honest, I could care less about that with this knife because it still has 3 amazing deployment options with that middle finger, regular flipper, and a front flipper. And one last look at this thing. this blade. The blade works great with the handle. The pivot, that big pivot, it really does kind of tie it all together in a way. Very, very unique knife. Very innovative knife. I've never seen a roundhouse lock before, so it's new to me. And this one is one that if you want it, I highly recommend you click the link below and you reserve yourself a spot to buy one a month in advance, because it is that good and you will not regret it. And yeah, like I said, as a matter of fact, I've technically already reserved a spot. So yeah, so I'm buying one. Let me know what you guys think of this. The Aurora Knife and Tool Truffles coming to you later in 2024. Such a damn good knife. This year's off to a great start. Let me know what you think of the Truffles, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.